So 2 good performances from the both of your teams. What sticks out for you in the highlights of that scrimmage?
You know, I had a lot of good things going on both sides. I'm really proud of the way we play, the way that we compete but take care of our teammates. You know, and there's a lot of situations out there that an offensive guy could wipe out a defensive guy or vice versa on defense, and we're holding each other up. We got through this thing healthy, had a lot of big plays on both sides of the ball, and had a little fun, you know, on the way. So I'm really happy with the day.
Did you accomplish your goals?
Yeah, you know, and you'd like to throw the ball a little bit more, but it was difficult. In a tempo system, that ball's just sitting out there, and our quarterback said at halftime that a lot of times they couldn't grip it, you know, whatsoever. So that made it a little bit tough, but we found a way to move the ball, and we got better today. We got better every day in spring ball. So I'm happy with that, and now we're moving into our next phase.
Yeah, and so this is the culmination of the whole spring season. You're happy. Are you taking a lot of positives away from spring ball into fall? Where are you at on that?
It's huge. You know, we had a lot of young guys making plays. That was the big thing. Defensively, everyone said, you graduate all this talent, you know, how are you going to be? Our guys stepped up. We're going to be very good on defense. We graduated a bunch of receivers. We've got some good receivers now, you know, so we answered a lot of questions with young guys, and now we need to move forward and be ready for fall camp. And those young guys have some confidence. That was the biggest thing.
A lot of long touchdown passes today and all throughout spring ball. What do you think it was that was allowing them to get some space and, you know, score from distance a lot?
You know, defensively we're being very aggressive, you know, and the weather's tough, which, you know, defensively, if the weather's tough to throw the ball, you know, you get up and you load the box up and make somebody throw it. And our quarterbacks did a nice job of throwing the ball despite the rain, and we got some guys that can really run, and it can really do something once the ball's in their hands also.
Did you like you mentioned the new format that you wanted for the spring game. Did you feel like that really added some competitiveness? We kind of saw it at the end a little too.
You know, it's the first year, so I think it's going to build as we go through the years. And at my former school, we did it, and our players really looked forward to it. I hope in the future that we'll have enough depth to truly split the teams and go special teams, all that stuff. We didn't have enough receivers or offensive linemen to be able to do that, but I think in the future we will, and it'll be fun for the fans and the players.
Obviously a tough day throwing the ball with some wetness out there, but what do you like about the quarterbacks? I mean, what was your kind of takeaway from what they did today?
You know, it's more about the decisions than the actual result in weather like this, and especially in spring. So we'll go back into the film room, and our guys made some good checks. And we got into the second half and basically just called the same play and then allowed the quarterback to make a decision what he wanted to do, and we had some good things go on.
The running backs, there was last week we had a couple guys really show up, and today it was a little more varied. You know, you had some new guys like McCombs even having a nice game out there for you.
Cody's a good player, you know, and he'll be redshirting in the fall, but we're excited about him, and he had a really great spring. We didn't know what he was all about, and he's a quality football player.
Coach, how about the kind of the coming out party for the spring for guys like Holman and Louis McGee today, and what they kind of showed they could do?
It's fun to see those guys, and again, we didn't know when spring ball started what we had in those guys, and now everyone knows them, and our team knows what they can do, and through these scrimmages, doing it when it counts gives them a lot of confidence going into the next phase, which is the summer and getting stronger, and the 7-on-7 stuff that we're going to be doing this summer. I look forward to having those guys in the fall ready to go.
Yeah, you might have just answered it, but I was curious on maybe what's one thing you found out this spring, and then maybe one thing that you're still wanting to find out, and then go forward.
Which young guys would step up and really be guys that we could count on is something that was a surprise, and I think we know now, and we need to find a kicker. You know, that's something that we went through spring ball and never really found the guy to get it done. We thought during times of spring that we found that guy, but today we didn't show it.
Brady threw some really good passes, and you mentioned they were talking about how it's tough to grip the ball. Did he impress you with some of his throws, considering what he had to go through today?
You know, Brady gets better every single day, and he's getting more comfortable with the offense, and some of those plays, those weren't things that were called from the sideline. That's Brady doing it, and I've I've said before, once you have a quarterback in the system for a couple of years, then it starts really getting fun. And then in the second half, we kind of let our quarterbacks go. We just let them call it.